episode 10, the grand finale that we have been waiting for. Slightly delayed this evening. Scheduled time was 9:30 p.m., but we had to reshuffle some of the players, and we have a new score sheet and a format that's awaiting us. Right in front of you right now, we are at the pit area of the track that we're going to soon show to you. Going to be a splendid track, and the pilots have absolutely loved it. We are starting at 10:08 local time. This is Indian Standard Time. And if you can hear the audio and see the video clearly, please do let us know in the comments below. This is the grand finale, and the pilots and the teams are all set to take away the grand prize. Let's look at the score sheet right away. We are looking right there we're going to have three semifinals over here instead of just two that we used to have. The reason is we have three teams, and each of the three teams are going to play against each other. The wildcard team is not competing in this grand finale. We have Team Atomic led by Devnath, Bareta is led by Shady, and then we have Mac 1 team. So let's look at the Group 1 semi-final. First is Nishan, Shady, Monster, Logic, Devnath, and 25 milliwatts. Each of these pilots are going to take on the pilots of the other team, and they're going to gather points based upon the format that we have been so far following. And then on heat number 4, all the pilots are going to go together, and whoever team wins that one, that team gathers that point. Let's look at semi-final group number 2 out here quickly. This is going to be Berettas and Mac 1, and then we'll announce the players later on over here when we get to that stage. And then finally, group 3 is Atomic versus Mac 1. So following the logic of A versus B, B versus C, and finally A versus C. That's what we are doing today in this grand finale. And if anybody is facing issues on Facebook, let's see what's happening. Okay, can you all see is Facebook live? I think we are sending data. It was just not shown online. Okay, looks like we are live on both the platforms. And now let's go to the pit area to show you the wonderful track that we have to do tonight. It's going to be an hour or so of a very competitive and really amazing track for the pilots and our viewers. So get ready with anything and everything that you get to have, and stay tuned to your seats because some very amazing competition is coming up in front of you right away. Let's go to the pit area now and see what the pilots are up to over here. Have we started the race? Okay, is this the first episode or this is practice? Okay, just practice. So this was just practice. We'll show you around the track over here, what the track looks like to our viewers. Look at that. It is absolutely gorgeous. The elements are all in fine orange color. There are some tree barriers over there, and we have put on some neon lights as a part of the decoration as well, and the gates. Taking a closer look through some other camera angles, and then let's zoom in to some of the points in space that can give you a better idea of how this thing looks like. So there you go. Right now the pilots are practicing. Atomic versus Berettas coming up for you guys, and let's try to see if we can follow some of the pilots over here. And right now we are tuned into Nishan. Again, it's a practice round. Those who are just joining us, welcome once again. This is IDRL Stay at Home Championship episode number 10, the grand finale. Scheduled time was 9:30, slightly delayed today by half an hour or so, and we are back live to see and witness one of the most competitive racing that's ever going to occur on this virtual reality sport. So, pilots, whenever you are ready, please give me a thumbs up and let's go with the first round. Till then, let's look at the track from some of the views. That yellow gate that you see is a recharge gate. The pilots wanted some recharge of their batteries because the track was a little too long to complete for 3 laps. So after recharging the batteries, they will be able to do it quite efficiently. Right now, following 25 milliwatts, turning around some of those obstacles. So all of these pilots are practicing some of the elements that they're having the most difficulty with, and once they have mastered that, they should be able to gain more and more confidence. A lot of things are riding on this finals for each of the pilots. They have come a long way, right from episode number one, and the 10th one is going to really ping the pilots and pitch them on the seat where they're going to take away the first, second, and the third prizes and become the champions. So, who will become the champions? Let us know among the three teams. Let's go right now. Looks like the pilots are ready. We'll be about to start the race anytime soon now. And let's see if we can have some better angle over here. Let's see if we can get it from another point of view so that you can have as much of the view as possible. So this is another view that we haven't done so far, and we have reserved it exclusively for our episode 10. This is a very side end view, and we will switch between that. So let's go, pilots. There you go. All the best pilots at the count of less than three. Round number one coming up. We are seeing the right to the eyes of Devnath. There you go. And right away into the action. Let's see who is on spot number one, Shady and Devnath. So this would be interesting to see. Let's zoom into these pilots wherever Devnath is, and behind Shady he is right now. So let's tune into Shady at the moment. Look at that. Devnath is right behind him, and we can even take a look from this side view of Shady. Let's see if that is possible. So that gives you an idea of how Shady is flying. He's flying really fast. There you see the blue drone that's coming up behind him is that of Devnath. And let's tune in back into some of the other pilots in the FPV view. 25 milliwatts is hanging right at the spot number 6. Not much competition going on over there. Monster time trying to climb in slowly from spot number 4. He's up against a very competitive pilot from Aurangabad, Logic. He's pitched at spot number 3, and Monster will have to really hit hard in this round number 1. Nishant, in the meantime, is another very impressive pilot. He's taking us through the track. His lines are very clean out here. And right now, he's at gate number 30 at lap number 2. So only 3 pilots. The top 3 are in lap number 3 at the moment. Shady well ahead of the competition. And we should be able to see him complete that one as we did right now. Let's follow right now. Let's say we tune into Logic. So there you go. Logic is there. Logic is still about to complete his track, but looks like he has finished his position in that spot number 3 and will hold back Monster. So there we go. And let's see where some of the other pilots remaining are. Monster coming in at spot number 4. There's interesting competition, but Nishant has come back from behind. Look at that drone. That has come right ahead of Monster, that is. It's a very close competition. Wow. In the end, Monster takes it. Nishant right behind him. But what a try that was from Nishant. That was very impressive of Nishant to come back right from behind like that. And 25 milliwatt remains the only pilot that is remaining in lap number 3 to complete his share of the laps. Let's look at the leaderboard. At the completion of round number 1, Shady takes the top heat over here, 1 minute 37 seconds. 10 seconds behind him is Devnath. Logic, 2 minutes 2 seconds. Monster, 2 minutes 21 seconds. Nishant was very, very close, was about to take up Monster at that very last instant, but Monster held his seat, and then 25 milliwatts coming in at spot number 6 for 2 minutes 48 seconds. Let's go with round number 2 pilots. Okay, just 1 minute to not start the race. Let's update the scoreboard over here quickly. All right, so we will need the Shady is 1 over here. Then we have Monster 1, Logic 1, and Devnath 1. Okay, Monster 0. Okay, Monster 0, 0. Okay, and then 1 and 0. Okay, got that. So the score sheet is updated. Let's go now with our round number 2. In less than 5, let's look at the eyes of Monster in FPV view, going through that recharge gate at the moment. And one pilot looks like he's disconnected, but Devnath is coming back in. Not an issue over there. We continue. Such trouble happens sometimes, so Devnath will have to recover quickly if he has to get back to spot number 2. It's quite a way. Let's look at the overall competition right now from the eyes of Logic. Let's steam zoom into him. Logic taking that part of the curvature of the track, going through the recharge gate, going through some of the other cubes out there, beautifully lit out there. It gives a very warm feeling to the pilots. And although it's red, but it's not stark red that would blind the pilots. It's of a very warm red and orangish kind of color, with the neon of pink really making a nice complementary color out there. Even the trees are nicely highlighted. Let's see where the other pilots are. Nishant flying fast. He is behind Monster, but Monster well ahead of the competition. Devnath coming in at spot number 4 now. He's replaced Nishant. Can Nishant really recover from this thing? Because Devnath is looking dangerous at the moment, and he should be able to climb up quickly, even getting past a Monster if he can dare to. 25 milliwatts, very back ahead of the competition right now. Logic is at spot number 2, and he should be able to complete his share of the laps, coming in second over here. And let's switch back to the FPV view. Let's cover some of the pilots out here. Let's watch it from the eyes of Devnath out here, because he is coming in at spot number 3. He had some technical issues just before the round started, but at the moment he's doing a very clean performance. So he's climbed up back up, but can he just take up Logic? No, not really. And Logic and Devnath finished in second and third. And let's see what happens with 25 milliwatts and Nishant. 25 milliwatts has just outwitted Monster, because Monster looks like he's stuck at lap number 2, gate number 39. So not very good news for Monster, but he has another try to go at it in round number three. So he'll be giving it his best shot, unless his laptop has crashed or something, which happened to be the last time, but shouldn't be in this time because I think we are still seeing him logged in. So he's disconnected. Okay, okay. Can something is showing offline? Hold on, this thing is showing offline. The streaming. Can you just verify if it's still? I think it should be good. Yeah, we are still good. Okay, no problem. So we're still good. Our viewers, if you experience any difficulty out there, any offline or other things, do let us know in the comments out here. Uh, but if somebody from Facebook or whoever is watching on Facebook and you can just confirm if you can still see the live broadcast, that would be absolutely great because we're getting some slight indications out here of being offline for some reason. So, okay, might be it might be just the issue of uh, yeah the internet out here. So I think that's good. That's fine. Okay, so we are online now. Okay, hold on. So let's update the score sheet out here. It's updated. Okay, let's go with the third heat now, pilots. There you go. We're starting the third round now, and 25 milliwatts having some difficulty getting past through, and Logic right in spot number two. He is really chasing Shady at the moment, and Shady is doing pretty well, I should say. He's really rocking that spot number one at the moment, Shady. And Monster has taken over at spot number two. So let's tune into Monster and see where he is exactly out here. Oh, and he's toppled over by Nishant. Logic comes in second back again. So we'll have to take a look at the 3D view of what's happening with these pilots. Look at those two pilots out there. This is 25 milliwatts and Devnath, it looks like. Very close competition between them. And Devnath will have to really improve out here. Logic and Nishant also flying there back to back. Very close between Logic and Nishant. Look at that. Both these pilots. Nishant is right behind him out there as Logic goes through those taller square gates, going through that split S in the round fashion, going through the queue into the recharge gate. Nishant following him, right behind him out here at the moment. Uh, and Logic should be able to hold on to his front seat, spot number two. And Shady is at the finish line already. Look at that, Nishant giving his full try over here. They tuned into Nishant at the moment, and now it's between Nishant and Devnath has really toppled him out there. So let's take a look at this from another angle. See Devnath do that. Look at that. Devnath's flow is looking really well. So in spot number three at the moment, let's try to cover him from some other angles out here. This is camera number three. And and Nishant has toppled over him now. Nishant and Devnath going together through those recharge gates and through the finish line. And that's kind of the sad story for Nishant and Monster. They were very close to the finish line along with Devnath, but they really didn't grab the opportunity out here. So the leaderboard looks like Shady 1 minute 35, Logic 2 minutes 5, Devnath 2 minutes 15, Nishant 2 minutes 26, and Monster at 2 minutes 29. So That's where we are. Three rounds are complete. Now the one final round where all these pilots together, and this is the team round. Let's start, pilots, whenever you guys are ready to go. So we're just waiting for Monster. He's having a different technical issues out here. Shouldn't be more than a minute of a wait for Monster. Okay, we start the race now. There you go. Okay, are we starting this all over again? Okay, okay, this is the final one that comes in, and Logic and Shady, both of them. Look at that, in a flow, in sync with each other as they go around that ladder out there into the intersection gates, coming around those neon flags into the dive gates, and coming back through another high rise structure out there. The tree is looking really tall out there for that gate, and through the ladder, through the high rise squares, Logic showing us the complete of the track. But Logic right now is in three, but Devnath and Shady, they are really competitive right now. Let's look at them from another view, because Devnath and Shady, look at that. Devnath is right behind Shady, and he can pick up, as we have experienced many times in this competition. He can come back from behind and really take the number one spot from Shady. Just is getting into his groove, so to speak. The responsibility of the win for this team lies with Devnath and Shady, because they are the team captains and they are ahead of the rest of the pack. So it's really between Shady and Devnath at the moment, with Shady still in the lead, about seven gates in front, but Devnath is closing in quickly out there. Uh, let's see, about five gates now, and six gates away. Look at that trail of the red drone ahead of him. That's Shady, and Shady has completed the win. So unfortunate for Devnath, a little bit too tied on that one. So we'll switch to the contention between, let's say, Logic out here and Nishant. Well, interesting to look at is Nishant and Monster, because they are right behind each other, 15 and 13 gate numbers on lap number three. Look at that. Both of them rippling each other out. And if Nishant can continue his form in that fashion, Monster coming in from behind out there, can he really steal that position from Nishant? And would it make a difference in this last round? That's something that we have to see. And going back into the tube, that's the win for Monster. Actually, Monster came in from behind. Wow, amazing. Monster came in from behind, and 25 milliwatts left at the sixth spot. So that was the story. Shady 1 minute 37, Devnath 1 minute 47, Logic minutes 9 seconds, Monster 2 minutes 21 seconds, Nishant at 2 minutes 28 seconds, and 25 milliwatts gets there in the end. So that completes semi-final group number one for us, and let's look at the scorecard that we have for you at the end of the semi-final group stage one. And we are just waiting for that score sheet to be updated. And once it's ready, okay, so it's 1 point for Berettas, and who qualifies into the semis? No, there is still, okay, there is still some. Okay, now let's go with the group number two. Do we have all the pilots out there? Shady, Bangos, Logic, Napster, 25 milliwatts, and Rex. Are you guys ready at the pit area? Okay, what about your other teammates? We have them also. Bangos. Okay, so looks like we are set. Boys, let's go now. Okay, Bangos, you got kicked out. Till then, we'll just enjoy some practice round. till the pilots are getting ready. We are entering semi-final number two right now, and after this, there will be semi-final group number three, at the end of which we will be knowing which of the two teams are going into the final round to capture the championships of IDRL Season 1, Episode 10, the grand finale. You have families and your friends locally and abroad, do share the link of the live stream. Tell us that this is an amazing grand finale going on right now, and you can enjoy it right from the comfort of your home, viewing it from any internet enabled device, even on your phone, laptops, whatever you have. Sit back and relax as we go. Are we ready now? Okay, please give me a update. What's happening? Are we ready? Okay, we're waiting for one pilot to connect. That's the update from the ground team. And till then, we'll just see Napster. His And let's take a look at some of the other angles also that haven't really played out here. This is another fine angle to look at. So let's follow logic to this angle. Look at that. You can see some of the structures as if you were present at that ground location. It's a beautiful, so you get an oversight view of this track, not from the top, but right from the ground level. It feels quite different. You can see that pit area is right there as they are flying. Bungos taking a chance. Who is the pilot that we are missing? Counting. Okay, Rex is still to join in. Has he given any timeline? Just waiting for Rex right now. We can do semi-final group number three. No, no, it's not like that. It's A versus C. If all the team members from C are present, we can do A versus C. Or we'll have to set up a hard stop. Rex will have to automatically give up his points. Are we doing A versus C, or is it Rex that we're waiting for? Uh, no, okay, wait. Yeah. So it's B versus C, sorry. B is Berettas, C is Mac 1. Yeah. Okay, he's back. Okay, guys, let's go. Yeah, let's go without Rex. We'll have to drop it. We cannot wait and the team automatically gets the points. There we go. Is The race has started. Join in, please. And we are following now Napster. Let's see who's in the lead. Bungos is flying pretty well out there. It's Team Berettas versus Mac 1 at the moment. And they are both very, very competitive teams. Berettas is led by Shady, and Shady has been a very fine captain. And Bungos also. But Logic, look at that. Logic, he is really quick in this one. He is really leading the pack of all the folks out here at the moment. And looks like he's really got the hang of the track, Logic. So he's flying into that dive gates and going around that intersection. Right in front of him is Shady, and Shady takes the lead out of Logic, snaps it. As soon as he sees an opportunity, he seizes that, and Logic is left right behind Shady. You can see He's trying to catch up with Shady. Look at that from the eyes of Logic. That red drone in front of him is Shady. So Logic is going pretty quick. He's at least actually just one game behind. Oh my God, this is such an interesting competition that's going on between and it's Logic and Bangos. We'll have to see this from the third person view because it's so very interesting at the moment. Whatever is going on, Bangos, look at that. Those three drones out there are really chasing each other. And let's switch to Logic again. Logic and Shady are very, very competitive. And behind the Logic is coming Bangos. Can Bangos really get the win? Logic will have to keep really calm out here. And that's what he does as Bangos joins in at spot number 3 with 25 milliwatts, finishing fourth in that heat, and Napster, who started pretty well but ended up at almost spot number 5 at the moment. So it's between Napster and 25 milliwatts. We'll have to see which amongst these pilots are going to really hold their breath the last spot. Look at that frost also. Some of the conditions are pretty cold out here on the track, and sometimes it gets a little hazy for the pilots. If you see it from the top view to one of the angles, look at that. You can see in between the frost, and you can see that clearly when it flickers through those neon lights. So Napster is there chasing still 25 milliwatts. They are right behind each other, both of them, and Napster and 25 milliwatts. What a race this is, right till the end at lap number 3. Beautiful to watch these pilots as they get along. Who is the one who's going to take the one? And fourth space goes to 25 milliwatts. That is the end of this first round. Shady, 1 minute 50 seconds as usual. Logic, 1:57. Bangos coming in just a little behind Logic, 2 minutes 1 second. 25 milliwatts could have done a little bit better. Had some issues out there, 3 minutes 12 seconds, and Napster also would have seen a better performance had he not focused on the track. So let's go now with the second round if the pilots are ready. There we go, second round coming in for the teams B versus C. That's Berettas versus Mach 1. Shady is taking it right to the competition. He is really leading by example over here, so to speak, because he is the captain and he has all the responsibility. And right now, Bangos is right behind Shady. Shady is always overtaken by Logic at the first heat, but then Logic sometimes makes a few mistakes. But this time, Shady has to cover quite a bit of ground because he really crashed into that tree. If you really saw that, and this is a pretty interesting competition between these pilots. We'll tune into Bangos. Actually, let's tune into Logic because he's really right behind Shady and behind. Oh, it's getting so competitive at the top 3 positions. It's hard to say who can be one because Shady and Logic are switching positions at any moment in time. Look at that scorecard below you. Wow, looking like the shuffling of cards, and these are magicians out there performing the sequence. Shady taking full advantage, coming right behind from both Bangos and Logic. Bangos is sort of drifted away from his lap lead out there ahead of Shady. He was in a very, very strong position, but just couldn't capitalize on that opportunity. And now it's between Logic and Bangos. If Oh well, Shady is still not completed his race, but he should be able to easily cover to that finish gate. Logic is the one is between at spot number 2, and he also gets through Logic. So Bangos, let's follow Bangos, and Napster is behind him. So we'll switch to the FPV view of these pilots. and the remaining ones are Napster at spot number 4 and 25 milliwatts at spot number 5 in the current situation. Napster coming in hard and strong out there. He's trying to recover as many points as possible for his team. Look at that triple gate that he has to do. The about to are flags and then has to drift through that gate at the bottom. Right now, coming into that intersection dive gate and trying to climb up one of the trees as he goes through the recharge once again and completes his 3 laps, and 25 milliwatts comes in fifth, which is immaterial at this point. So we will announce Shady as the winner of this one. 1 minute 48 seconds. Logic 1 minute 50 seconds. Bungos 2 minutes 5 seconds. And Napster 2 minutes 45. So Berettas has really outwitted Mac 1 in this round number 2. And let's see what round number 3 brings in for these pilots. Okay, looks like Logic has just been disconnected. We are having some technical disconnection issues with the pilots. Not a good position to be in. Till our ground team figures out, we'll just take you throughout the track out here. Look at that pit area. That's where the people start. The pilots take off from that launch pad, and then we follow the pilots through the ground eye view. For example, we are seeing Napster at the moment, and then we'll also see Rex. He's taking us through the view of the overcast sky out here. Bit of frost as well, and that's blinding some of the pilots. So overall, it's a very competitive track and a fun race that's happening. And this is going to be very crucial. The next 2 rounds that are going to come in for teams Mac 1 and team Berettas. Berettas earlier was Team Consistency, if you remember. They changed their name, and consistency really meant consistency, but they really spelled it in a Mumbai kind of style. And Mac 1 has remained Mac 1. D team has become wildcard, and Atomic, if I don't remember correctly, was something else. You can probably chip in the comments. But we are live. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. We are at the moment, viewers who are joining us, a little bit more time for the round number 3 of semi-final group stage number 2 to begin. Ground team, any update from the pilot? Any update, ground team? So we just have 4 pilots right now. Okay, we have 5. Okay, so another max couple minutes for Logic. We cannot extend this further. In 2 minutes, we will have to rejoin. Otherwise, we'll fly with 5 pilots. So there has to be a hard timeout because the viewers are eagerly waiting for the next round to get started. Okay, please communicate that to Logic. He has to make it quick. Let's see this from the FP2 right now. Shady is at the start position, 25 milliwatts, practicing his sequence. Rex also trying to cover some of the curvature of the track that he feels is that he's losing more time on. And there are quite a bit of curves out here. The tree becomes easy, but then following past those high-rise structures, once you get past this stage of the map, you have to really be at a tilted angle out there. People have been tilting at 50 plus degrees out here to maintain their stay on the track. Being on the track and being as speedy as possible is the name of the game at the moment. Final 1 minute for Logic. Final 1 minute. and if not, Logic can compete in the last round. But we have to go with the next round in approximately 45 seconds on the clock. Welcome once again, viewers, both on Facebook and YouTube. Quite a few have joined us today for this amazing finals that taking place from our Velocitron simulator out here. And this is the IDRL Stay at Home Championship Season 1, episode number 10. All right, guys, let's go. Switch off the noise. Let's go quickly at the count of less than 5. Here we go. Take off is there, and we are following Shady. Shady right in the heat out there at the very first jump. Once he gets past that first lap, 1/4 of the track, he is in full form. But right now, he should be aware of the competition also behind him. Bangos has taken quite a lead out here. Shady is literally knocked off. He's at spot number 4 right now. Wow, and he'll really need to come back in a very strong position. He has recovered, Shady, and behind him is Bangos. So Bangos and Shady, let's look at it from their third-person views. What it looks like. Look at that. Bangos trying to chase Shady. Shady, the pilot in red, in front of him. Bangos is getting quicker, trying to meticulously follow Shady, but Bangos having a hit at that moment, following a gate behind, not getting that adequate flow going in towards Shady. So let's take a look at the competition between Napster and 25 milliwatts. 25 milliwatts just ahead of Napster actually, and Napster and Rex is getting very competitive out here because both of them are at the same gate out there. Napster is now slightly in a better position, but look at that. Those two white drones of the same team, Mac 1, Napster and Rex. Rex is right behind him. So let's see this through the view of Rex, who is behind Napster. Rex now in a commanding position at spot number 4. So, but he will have to really now get his gear in the 5th place if he has to take on 25 milliwatts. Bangos is already in position number 2. His spot is secured, but Rex will have to take on 25 milliwatts. Meanwhile, 25 milliwatts is looking great. We will switch to his first person view to show how 25 milliwatts is doing. And he has been an amazing pilot out there. He has done very consistently well, 25 milliwatts, very impressive, and he has shown some fine performances. But he just has to get a little bit consistent now throughout the races. Bangos finishing his draw at position number 2, and Rex and 25 milliwatts. Rex most likely will take position number 4 ahead of Napster unless Rex makes a lot of mistakes over here, which seems unlikely because he's 10 gates in front of the last position Napster at the moment. And there you go. That's the leaderboard out there. We have Shady at 141, Bangos at 158, 25 milliwatts at 235, and Rex at 251, and Napster at position number 5. So that was the culmination of round number 3, and then we go towards the final round, guys. Let's get going at the count of less than 5. There we go. Last one coming up from semi-final group number 2. Stay tuned for some amazing action coming up. After this, there's going to be semi-final group number 3, and then there's going to be the finals. So, which of these 3 teams do you think is going to be in the finals? Do let us know below, please. And okay, we have some comments out there, some interesting ones. Cynthia says, please smile. Yeah, I'm always smiling from my heart. Don't worry about that. And a question out there now from one of our viewers. Looks like person by my name. He says, which game? Well, we are playing inside Velocitron Simulator, and we are playing season one of IDRL Stay at Home Championships, episode number 10. You can see us live, and you can also find us on Facebook. Right now, you look like tuned through YouTube. Prince Deer has been our top fan, so Prince Deer, congratulations for being our top fan of the season. Uh, we are really grateful. And let's now switch back to Shady out here. Shady in spot number one. Shady is really rolling it up. He's also having a good laugh. And Shady is really taking it cool because nobody behind him. Bangos, who is there, but he is very far behind. Bangos is, well, now he's getting closer to Shady. Oh, he's getting very close now. Let's see this through the third person split. Let's see if Bangos can come back all the way towards Shady. He's about 5 gates behind. Shady still in the lead at that moment behind the tree, and going through the recharge gate, coming in first, not giving a chance to Bangos. Unfortunately for Bangos, it didn't quite work out. But Logic seems to be in a safe position right now. The competition looks to be tough. Really between nobody because each of these pilots are really spaced out, and we'll have to really switch back to the first person to make this interesting. Logic is already completed 25 milliwatts, going to the recharge gate one more time as he enters lap number 3. Look at that really warm set of gates. It's very nice to fly in this cold conditions, and neon lights, not too bright, so off a track. Now 25 milliwatts, also called as Jasim Mullah. He is one of the fine pilots who has been competing on this track. 25 milliwatts, doing his very best to get and topple Rex. Rex was stuck at lap number 1. So I think we are done, guys, here. And the leaderboard, we have Shady 1 minute 55, Bangos 158, Logic 13, Napster 238, and finally 25 milliwatts at lap number 3 at 5 position, and then Rex at position number 6. So that's where we are. Let's go with that end semi-final group number 2. Let's look at what we have on the score sheet for you guys. That's uh, that's the score sheet for semi-final group number 2, and then we'll calculate all the points over here and the final 2 teams that are going to go into the finals. Now this is semi-final group number 3 that's coming up, and let's see the draw that's between A and C teams. Atomic, Nishan, Bangos, Monster, Napster, Devnath, Rex, and there we are. Atomic versus Mac 1. Always okay. Okay, let's go, guys. Count to less than 5. There we start. Round number 1 of this semi-final group stage number 3. Seeing it right through the eyes of Monster. We're now going to go really quick out here because the championships are going to get pretty interesting. Both of these teams have got some experience now behind through with their semi-final draws, and this is the semi-final group number 3 stage. Monster is in quick touch over here. He's right now at position number 4. They are all fighting very hard out here. Devnath rules the roost over here, spot number 1. Nishant right behind him. And interesting to watch this spotlight between Nishant and Devnath. Let's quick behind Nishant out here as he tries to unfold the speed of Devnath. And behind Nishant is Bangos. Look at that. Behind Nishant and Bangos. Wow. Bangos is coming right behind him. Nishant trying to hold him right at the thing. And Nishant makes an error, giving Bangos the full force of the spot number 2 at the moment. Bangos takes that advantage, gets that Bangos that they're focusing on. and Nishant right behind him. Monster coming in also behind Nishant. Let's switch to Nishant and Monster. A close competition between Monster and Nishant. A Monster now following quite behind him. Nishant trying to get back into spot number two. Was looking very good at this moment. Shouldn't be able to give his lead, but look at that, Bangos and Nishant. Nishant, wow, Bangos still holding up. Look at that competition between these two pilots. Such an interesting draw. We will tune back in Bangos over here because Bangos is the pilot who is really captivating us at the moment. His really interesting twists and turns. He's sometimes following in second and sometimes third, and Nishant is trying to cover him and capitate on the position number two. Can Nishant draw his full force that lap number three and really get Bangos run for his money? But Bangos seems to be just ahead, staying up, holding up on spot number two over here, just six laps away, six behind is Nishant and Monster right behind him, also at position number four. Rex coming in at position number five. Let's see what happens to Nishant over here. Bengal has already completed spot number two. Nishant coming in at spot number three. Should be able to really have a clean run over here unless Monster topples him, but Monster holding up at spot number four. Now it's only behind Monster and Rex. Not much going on over here. We have really the position number four in front of us at the moment. Monster and then Rex coming in should be an easy win for him ahead of Napster. Napster would not be really happy with his performance at the moment in this round. He'll have to give it and push it really hard in the next one. But he's not too far. He can come back anytime as Rex is the one to watch out for. And we'll switch on through his FPV view of Rex and see him complete the remainder of this track as he completes and places himself in position number five to that finish gate out there, which gives him spot number five. So that's the story. Devnath 1 minute 43, Bangladesh 2 minutes 2 seconds, Nishan 2 minutes 13 seconds, Monster 2 minutes 26 seconds, Rex 3 minutes exactly out there. Let's go with round number two, guys. And coming and right now we're tuned into Rex. Going into Rex, look at all those pilots coming ahead of him. This is a super competition going on with these pilots. Devnath again, and Devnath and Nishan. This is the championship of a lifetime. Both of them are from the same team, but they're going to really want to set the benchmark in their own fashion. And Bangos and Devnath still in the lead over there. And Bangos, can he come back from behind? Bangos ready to get behind Devnath out there. Devnath still maintaining his full form. Devnath has really aced this track. He fell just short of practice throughout the week, but now he's looking at really good position out here to take Team Atomic right to the finals. Can Bangos really come back from behind and also make it happen for Mac 1? Bangos, everything lies on the team captains Devnath and Bangos as the next two leaderships, the Monster, FPV, and Nishant coming right behind at spot number 3 and 4. Really, these pilots are really living up to their skill level at this moment. None of these pilots are disappointing. Monster and Nishant. Let's look at these two pilots. Let's tune into Monster because Monster and Nishant are looking really close at the moment. Monster really making some mistakes out there, giving an opportunity for Nishant. Can Nishant come in from behind and take the opportunity? Look at that. Nishant is taking his full force out there to try to see some of the angles over here and try to see Nishant. Look at that. He's coming around that tree and he's really endangering the spot of Monster. And Monster just has to be up to the right end of this gate. If he can hold on and he can really sustain this, it would be a win for him. He's still about 3 minutes ahead out here. Anything can happen between Nishant and Monster. Very interesting competition going on. But at the top is Bangos. What a win this is going to be if Bangos really comes in. Devnath, look at that. What a competition. Devnath and Bangos. Wow, this is a thrill of a lifetime. What we saw between Shady and Devnath the last time around. Something similar is happening right now. Devnath is come back behind. Wow. Devnath really came back behind and Bangos lost it at the very end of full 5 seconds of loss. Unfortunate for him. He was at the spot number one and he really lost it at the very end. And that was not very good for Bangos. He should be upset with himself for sure and not letting live up to his expectations. Monster, meanwhile, is also completed. The pilots who are remaining are Rex and Napster. So let's look at Rex. Rex looks in tremendous form, but in tremendous form at position number 5. He will have to evaluate his game today, and he'll have to see how he can get past some of the other pilots, because the other pilots have been maintaining the consistency throughout at spot numbers. So one, both giving Rex no chance absolutely to break through in those top 4 positions. So Rex will have to really do and maybe twist some of his settings over here on the drone. But at the moment, round number 1 uh, looks like, sorry, the last one this was, I guess, but round number 3 this was of semi-final 2. Okay, round number 2. And Devnath to 1 minute 51, Pangos 156, Nishan 218, Monster 223, Rex 254, Napster 310. That's the story. Let's go with round number 3 of semi-final number 3. Pangos will now see and watch it through the eyes of Bangos. Wow, what a take this is. Bangos is right now at position number 4, but he really climbs the ladder over here. And it's very interesting to watch this all from the side view. And let's see if we can get a clear view of Devnath over here. Devnath is right behind him. Devnath will try to cover most of the ground over here. Devnath having some issues out there. Bangos, let's switch to Bangos, who is leading the pack at the moment. Bangos doing pretty well, but Bangos giving some leeway out there. Can Devnath take opportunity of this? Devnath, look at that. He's coming in from behind. We'll try to cover him in the frame also, Devnath. But Devnath is really following behind him now. Monster trying to also get in there, but he's stuck at spot number 6. Devnath coming in at a really close spot right behind Bangos. They are very, very close. Look at that, both of them. Devnath is in that blue trail of a drone, and Bangos, oh, this is not a good view to see, but let's see if we can try to see it from this point of view. Bangos and Devnath, look at that. Devnath is right behind him, and Bangos coming in, and Devnath now getting and really chasing Bangos at the moment. It will all get down to lap number 3. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be another down to the heat, down to the last lap competition out there. Wow, and Pangos really capitalized on Devnath's little lack of concentration out there. But Devnath has really recaptured his attention out there now. And let's tune into Devnath, because Devnath is looking like a killer drone out there. But he 10 gates away. He have to really push it hard in the last lap out there if he has to really make it through. And not much improvement right now as he makes a few other mistakes, giving Pangos most likely at the position number 1. It's hard to tell at this moment, but it's most likely Pangos' win, and that's what it is. And Nishant and the Monster. Let's tune into Monster. Monster is another good pilot to look at. Let's see who is competing behind Monster out here. Between Monster and Nishant are these 2 pilots. Well, Nishant is right behind Monster, and behind Nishant is Napster, and behind Napster is Rex. So, anything can happen between Monster and Nishant. Let's take a look at Nishant. Nishant has been very, very consistent out here, but Monster nevertheless takes his 3rd position, and leaving Napster no choice but to be at position number 5. And also, that will be the drill as we go through the last pilot out here. Napster, the only pilot remaining that is close to completing the gate out here. But Rex is also covering quick ground. Some things could happen still, but 10 gates of a difference. Napster really taking it easy and should be able to complete his 3 laps. This is almost the last gate, gate number 39 of lap number 3. That was a win for Napster. And let's see. Now at round number 3 of semi-final group number 3, we have Pangos 1 minute 56, Devnath 2 minutes 7 seconds, Monster 2 minutes 27 seconds, Nishan 2 minutes 45 seconds, Napster 3 minutes 11 seconds, Rex 3 minutes 19 seconds, and Rex will have to really improve it from here. Let's go with the last one, guys. Let's go with the semi-final round number 4 of this important semi-final group stage. After this, we'll come to know which 2 teams are getting into the finals. Such an exciting night is going to come. The next 20 minutes of exciting semi-final action is going to come up behind in front of you. So we'll announce some of the other things also once we get through the semi-final stage of what you need to prepare, viewers. Once you are into the finals, you need to be absolutely glued because this is the finals of season number one. All the exciting action is going to happen in the finals, and the best of the two strong teams that are getting along. Bangos right behind Devnath. Let's look at it from the eyes of Devnath out here. Devnath, look at that. Bangos in the trail of drone number, the white drone out there, right behind Devnath out there. And he's also going to come in into that queue, but Devnath really taking not much time to get past that valley out there into the tree, going around the ladder once again into the high rise structures, and we'll follow some interesting competition out here between Bangos and Monsters. So let's start with Monster, and the Monster is trying to cover as much ground as possible with Bangos. Devnath has really is well ahead of the competition now. He's assured of point and gate number one. So he will be most likely taking the win for a team of Atomic out here. That'll get the team points. But for the individual ones, Monster is just about 6 gates away from Bangos. He's taking a few gates. Errors here and there should be really tuned into his quad all over again now. But let's see what's happening inside of the view of Nishant. Let's try to cover it through the eyes of Bangos. Bangos is a quick pilot, recharge one, and that he finishes his final gate. Nishant is at spot number four. Close competition between him and Monster. So if he gets closer to Monster, we should be able to see Monster right in front of him, which is looking quite possible at the moment. 6 gates of difference between them. So if we see any blue trail drone ahead of Nishant that we're covering right now, but Nishant and Monster, look at that. Oh wow, Nishant just a few seconds away, and nobody knew what happened out there. We'll have to look at the timings for position number fourth and fifth, but I can tell you they were somewhere around that second or 2 seconds or a millisecond away. We'll have to look at the leaderboard out here. What happened out there between Monster and Nishant? Well, it looked very close, but it's 1 minute 46 for Devnath, 1 minute 53 for Bangas, 2 minutes 11 for Monster, and 2 minutes 22 for Nishant. Nishant was very close, but gave the lead away to Monster. And Napster at 2 minutes 37 seconds, and Rex not yet finished his race at position number 6. So that goes, that's the story, guys, from the semi final draw over here. The semi-finals are now complete. We will have the score sheet ready for you at any given point in time. Stay glued to your hot seats out there. Let's see what's happening right now. Okay, so there we have, we can see there, Mac 1 has gathered 4 points from the semifinals, Berettas with 16 points, and Team Atomic with 10 points. So, congratulations to Berettas and Atomic for qualifying into the finals. So, guys, this is the finals coming up for these two teams, and I think we should go ahead and start the finals right away as the teams look like they are already ready. Let's make sure that Atomic and Berettas are lined up over here clearly, and that's the case. Okay, so so let's go back to the pit area. We are starting the finals again, the same format, and let's go, guys. This is the finals. Viewers who are just tuned in, this is the final of the finals, the season 1, episode 10, grand finale. We are very glad for those who have just tuned in, or those who have been watching us throughout this competition and the rest of the series. And it has been really, really amazing to have you. Finals is just about to begin, and let's go, guys, at the count of less than 5. The first of the finals coming along. We are seeing the logic in front of you, and we'll have to do some really fast commentary as well over here, considering the speed of these pilots now. Shady in position number one out there. Let's see through the eyes of Shady and Logic. Shady and Logic. Look at that. What a condition this is of all the pilots. We are starting right now. Devnath. Oh, Devnath goes behind quite a bit in that position number five. Let's do it. The spot leader over here, Shady. Shady is going quick around over here. Logic also coming in from behind. Wow, what a trail this is from Logic. Can Logic come in? Logic will have to maintain very close contact to Shady if he has to really stay true to his team leader out there. Maybe he's respecting his captain out here at the moment and trying to not overtake him unnecessarily because both of them are from the same team. But the next one from the opposite team, Atomic, is Monster, between Monster and Nishant also. So both these captains, Logic, Shady and Monster, and Devnath is not really doing well out there right now. He is quite behind. He should be really back, hopefully. But at the moment in the driver's seat, really is Shady and Logic. And it's going to get even more exciting out here as they are just gates away. Shady is really putting himself into the seventh tier over here, taken 10 gates ahead of Logic. But Logic should not Oh, that's where Logic can take away. You saw Shady right now crashed just a little bit, but Shady recovering very quickly. He's such a quick pilot, I tell you. And Logic not able to take good competitive advantage of that. Now let's see what's going to happen. So it's a guaranteed spot for Shady. Now let's take a look. Devnath is back again. Look at that. Devnath and Nishan for his team. He is flying really hard. Team Atomic. And between Devnath and Shady, Shady has won. Between Logic and Monster, looks like Logic has won out there. It's really between the teams right now, but in terms of the order, Team Berettas has captured the hot two spots. Devnath coming in at spot number three, and Nishan at spot number four, and then Monster, who has done really well. He's a full lap away right now from his next best competitor at 25 milliwatts, and he should be able to take spot number five. No need of looking at that. We will go back to the leaderboard out there and show you the draw over here. Shady at 1 minute 44, Logic at 1 minute 56 right now. Devnath at 2 minutes 2 seconds, Nishant 2 minutes 7 seconds, and Monster 2 minutes 32. Devnath was pushed right in behind at the start at 5, but he was doing well enough to come back to position number 3. So let's go ahead with the second round of the finals. In less than 5, we have, let's look at it from the eyes of Nishan. All of the drones are blowing past that first start recharge gate out there. A few recharge gates are in place out there so that the map doesn't look pretty large over here. They drain off the batteries very largely, and it's a very lot of surge in the. Sometimes it's spiky and then it goes down very quickly, so the batteries drain off like that. And right now, let's see what is happening. Devnath and Shady, we'll have to see this from the third person view. It is really between Shady and them. Now look at that. What a close competition. This is another thrill of a game because it's Devnath versus Shady. It's the team captains of the Team Berettas and Team Atomic. This is the going to be the most interesting one out here. And Devnath has picked up the first spot. Devnath really took advantage of that crash of Shady. Can Shady come back from behind? Oh wow, Shady is really covering good heat over here. Look at that, Shady coming in from behind just 2 gates away. They are also chit-chatting with each other at the same time. What an amazing set of pilots. They are right in each other. Oh, wow. And Shady lost again the pick of his lead out there. And Shady coming in once again, giving Devnath a run for his money. Look at that. And look at that. Oh, my God. Shady is now in spot number one. And Devnath will have to cover 6 gates now. Devnath made a few errors out there, giving the lead to Shady. It's never too late for Shady to come back and take that win. Can Devnath also sustain like Shady? And can Devnath really come back from behind? But he has just made too many mistakes, giving Shady unnecessarily the first spot when he was in good control. And what a sad story there was for Devnath. He will be really, really disappointed with himself, Devnath, and contemplating a few self attacks for himself at this point in time. And till he recovers from that, we will tune in to Nishant. Nishant and Mosh are also looking really good because these are the two pilots also competing against each other, looks like, but it's really between Monster and Logic. So Nishant also plays a role over here. It's interesting because he's at spot number 3 right now, and anybody's game. Look at that, those pilots who won out there. It was wow. Look at that between Logic and Nishant. We have we have 12 seconds. What was it? 112 milliseconds of difference between Nishant. Wow. Between Nishant and Logic, 112 milliseconds of difference. That's something to say. And Monster will, as usual, finish fifth and 25 points at sixth. Shady 136, Devnath 141, Logic 212, Nishant 212 also, but 112 milliseconds. Oh well, not really. You can do the computation. It's about 100 milliseconds there. And Monster is at 2 minutes 43 seconds. And finally 25 milliwatts. But what a competition this was between Devnath and Shady right at the top out there. And let's go, guys, now. And this is round number 3 coming up for the finals. It's going to be a critical round because it lays the foundation for the last one that is going to coming up, the final of the finals. Anything can happen right now, literally anything. Any of these teams can really clinch the top prize out here. And whose day is it going to be? Whose mega sequence is going to be at the moment? At the moment, it looks like a tough competition between Shady and Devnath. Once again, 6 gates behind Shady is Devnath, so we have to Shady because Shady is the leader at this point in time. He's also the captain of Team Berettas. Both these two captains, again, as usual, in the lead. They are really fond of each other at the very top spot. They do not really like to give in to each other at any given point in time. Both of them are really good friends. They practice together, but they also are very competitive. So it is going to be really Devnath who will have to take a look at that. Devnath has come back from behind. Looks like Shady was just waiting for him, waiting for his friend to come and waiting for Devnath to come back from behind. And Shady is behaving so cool right now. He is really teasing Devnath at the moment to come and take the lead. We'll have to. Oh my God! Look at that. He's really slowing himself down out there for no reason. Absolutely. Look at that. These are really mind tricks, so to speak. That's going to even disincentivize Devnath out here. Mind tricks being played by Shady, and he is really a king of mind tricks, Shady out there. And Devnath, really a cool customer. Devnath not taking his anger to his head because Devnath has come back with spot number. And Monster now will be also a cool customer, but behind him, unless is Nishant, because Nishant is flowing in 11 gates away, quite a lead right now for Monster. Not really worry anything about of this sequence also, Monster. But Nishant, well, he's landed, he's grounded for some time. Nishant was also grounded. Nishant looks like he was maybe crashed or something. Nishant, not really moving from that gate number 5, Nishant, and that and 25 milliwatts this time somehow clinches the 5th position and maybe even the 4th position because of the error that Nishant has made out there. And Logic also looks stuck at gate number 31, giving 25 milliwatts the 4th spot out here. Both of the other pilots are grounded. So we can confirm that from the ground team. And that's the order of the draw. Shady, 1 minute 47 seconds. Devnath just behind him was teased considerably and played a lot of mind tricks on. But then Monster was 2 minutes 17 seconds. And then we have 25 milliwatts coming in at spot number 4. Nishant at spot number 5. And Logic at spot number 6. So, guys, we just take 1 minute of a gap before the last finals. 1 minute of a gap allowed over here before we start the finals because this is going to be the final race. Absolutely. Just before that, all the viewers, this is the final race of the first season of the last episode of the grand finale. Whoever you know, please bring them along to watch this race. Share the link. It's going to be an absolutely blockbuster, especially the competition between Shady and Devnath that we've witnessed so far is going to become the intense competition right now of this last race. And also, do chip in your comments who is going to win between Atomic and Team Berettas. We'll call out your names. Thanks so far for your comments right now. Let's go back to the pit area and within about 20 seconds start this final heat for the pilots. All right, guys, let's go, guys. Let's go, guys. Count of less than five. The final race coming up. Okay, we'll have to restart that one. Is it? Okay. Okay, let's restart that one, guys. Okay, the final race of this season one, episode 10, grand finale. Seeing it through the eyes of Monster, all these pilots are going to give it their best shot over here to reclaim their final standings from this last race. It will boost their confidence to quite an extent out here. And Monster doing a quick lap out there. Really, the Shady, not really, it's right now between Devnath and Shady. So let's look at it from the eyes of Shady out here. Let's see how Shady is doing. Right behind Shady is Devnath. Look at that. A close competition between Shady and Devnath. Both at the same gate. Absolutely at the same gate. And Shady is right behind him. And Devnath has really captured. He is really coming back from behind. And it's really getting difficult to know who is going to take the next gate over here. Wow. Shady is at gate number 21. And so Devnath is at a gate just behind him. Shady is a little tad bit faster than Devnath at the moment, and they were going the gate behind gate in the last event that we saw. Here we are seeing Shady just a few gates away, but it's going to be still pretty competitive right to the very last gate because Devnath is coming in right behind right now, and he's pushing the benchmark over here. Both of them now at the same gate. Devnath has taken the lead. Oh my goodness, Devnath has taken the lead over here, and Devnath came from behind, and Devnath has crash landed. Looks like can Shady take it up from there? We will have to really see, wait and watch what will happen over here. Look at that Shady trying to come back from behind, but Devnath is really holding on to his spots. His gates behind. Devnath is Shady. Can we see Shady somewhere? But Devnath picks up the win for his team. Atomic completed by Shady from team Berettas. And just for the calculations, we will wait for Monster and Nishant, and the Monster completes his pack. And finally, let's tune into Nishant through his FPVIs so that we can have a very good view as we complete the last lap of the pilots of this last race of the last episode of the grand finale. We are eagerly waiting now for knowing who has won the grand finale and the championships. So, guys, first we will be announcing who won the grand finale. That's important. And then who won season one. So, let's calculate and look at the scoreboard right now. Let's see who has won uh, the grand finale first. It's a tie right now. Wow, it's a tie between Atomic and Berettas. Wow, it's a tie. Both of them took away the grand finale, and now after this tie, there is this is the end of the grand finale. So the overall prize winners now. Let's calculate that. Let's draw in the points from episode number 8, episode number 9, and episode number 10, and let's call that the final score of the season. And whoever wins that is the champion. So that's what we are calculating at the moment. Let's call it out for Berettas. It looks like some of the points coming, and I think it is not able to see Abu S1. somebody. Yeah, it's Rahul Jaiswal who's called out for Berettas out there. And Berettas may be having a little bit of a competitive advantage given their overall position in the episodes out there. And let's see how much total points they have drawn from episode number 8, episode number 9, and episode number 10. Oh wow, Berettas are behind Atomic. Looks like at points 13 and okay, Berettas and Atomic. There was a little bit of a confusion out there. Total is Berettas, and obviously a Mac 1 will take the third spot. That is a guarantee out there. So let's announce this overall a big round of congratulations to Berettas. Berettas has won it by a margin of 4 points. Team Atomic, led by Captain Devnar at 13 points, comes in second, taking the second cash prize. 2100 rupees for Berettas plus X memberships. Atomic gets 1600 plus X memberships. Mac 1 gets 900 plus X memberships, and Wildcard is at spot number 4. So there we are, and we will just leave you with some of the memories out here as the pilots fly this track. Finally, we have finally come to a close of this season 1 grand finale, and we are going to have a very good announcement that's coming up right now. We will be having a change of format, a slightly a twisted format, but it will be a proper IDRL virtual league that will be there, and each city now having its own captain, and there will be city-wise uh, teams that will be aggregating and playing in the stay-at-home championships. So we look forward to that for season number 2 that's going to coming up in the next 2 weeks. So we're going to take a gap of 1 week of a gap and then going to come back after that 1 week. So next to next Saturday, we'll be starting with season number episode number 1 in a new format where we'll be having city teams competing in the stay-at-home championships. If you are interested to represent your city and you think you are competitive, do join into DroneRacingIndia.com, join IDRL right now, sign up as a member, and get the X memberships also, get the Velocitron simulator, and form your city team if it's not represented right now. We have some major cities already out there like Pune and Jaipur and some other folks. But if your city is not there, make sure that you call out to the pilots in your area. We also have a wonderful IDRL app. Remember, you can download that from Google Play and Apple App Store. You can search pilots in your city, and you can get to pilots who are out there and in the order of the ranking also. So take a look at that. But right now, uh, you are all welcome. We are growing as a big community, so do join us at IDRL. And finally, a big thank you to all the sponsors once again for the final time for season 1, One Martian Way, Velocidrone, Team Black Sheep, GetTBS.in, ZDR, Design Drone Racing from MNIT Jaipur, and Quadcopters.com, our long-time sponsors. So thank you all the sponsors. And next season, definitely, as Rahul Jaiswal says, we will be bringing in a lot more participants as we open this up to a lot more cities beyond the teams that you saw this season. So in the meanwhile, we wish you all the best. Join us next to next Saturday for season 2 and have a good time and sweet dreams. Thank you very much. Signing out from our studios in Mumbai. Bye bye, all of you.